Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Gisela Luigi Septiana. I'm a lecturer of Communication Studies in Muhammadiyah University Luwuk, Central Sulawesi. Today I will introduce my colleagues. They are Mr. Erwin Nursin and Mr. Risnomina. We are from Muhammadiyah University Luwuk. First, I will explain about our research with the title The Influence of Coordination, the influence of the coordination pattern of the Election Supervisory Board Bawaslu with the Luwuk District Supervisory Committee Panwaskem on the implementation of election in Banggai District in 2020. Okay, next, this is our background to the problem of this research. The phenomenon of elections in various countries, including developed countries, still shows that elections cannot be separate from various violations and fraud, electoral malpractice. It is in this context that the concept of electoral integrity becomes important because the breed that animates elections is politics, which has the basic nature of justifying ways to achieve goals and power. Through elections must go both procedurally and substantially. Elections are both procedurally if the preconditions have been met, and elections are substantially successful if the objectives are achieved. The prerequisites for elections outline the freedom to vote, the realization of the community participation, and the arena of fair political competition. Next, this is our advanced background to the problem of this research. The implementation of the regional head elections that we called Pilkada in 2022 is different from the regional elections that have been carried out in Banggai Regency and also other districts in Indonesia. The 2022 regional elections are a delay schedule that should be September 23, 2022 to December 9, 2022. This delay is carried out based on the presidential decree of the Republic of Indonesia, number 22 of 2022, the consideration to postpone the implementation of simultaneous regional elections in Indonesia is the spread of COVID-19, which increasingly endangers human lives. Next, this is our problem formulation of this research. How much influence the coordination pattern of the election supervisory agency that we called Bawaslu with the district supervisory committee that we called Panwaskem in the implementation of regional elections in Banggai Regency in 2022? This is our methods for this research. The research method used in this study is a survey method, which are research method that takes samples from the population and uses a total sample of 30 people with a data collection method using a questionnaire. The analysis method uses linear regression by measuring the correlation coefficient, determinant coefficient, and testing partially. Next, this is our research results. First, the constant value of 150% and 55.127 can be interpreted if it is not influenced by free variables. Namely, the coordination pattern will not change or constant with a value of 155 5.127. Value of regression coefficient of 0.5 to 199 means that the value of the influence of coordination patterns 0.5 to 199 on the implementation of regional elections in Banggai Regency year 2022. Third, the adjust R square is 0.739, meaning that the competency variables affects the coordination pattern by 73.9%, while the remaining 26.1% is another variable that is not studied. This is our research results. Based on the data analysis, it is proven that the correlation coefficient R of 0.751 shows that the level of correlations or relationship between the variables of the influence of the coordination pattern of the election supervisory agency that we called Bawaslu and the district supervisory committee that we called Panwascam. In the implementation of regional elections in Banggai Regency in 2022 is a positive or strong relationship, while the coefficient of determinants is 0.739. This shows that the influence of the variables for the implementation of regional elections in Banggai Regency in 2022 is very dominant on the variables of organizing regional elections in Banggai Regency in 2022. This is our advanced research results. The effect of the coordination pattern of the election supervisory agency that we call Bawaslu with the district supervisory committee Panwascam, or we put this X is shown with a calculate value of 9.120 to determine the t-table by using the significance level of equals 0.05 obtained t-table 1.699. So T 9.120 greater t-table 1.699. So it can be said that there is a significant influence between the influence of the coordination pattern of the election supervision agency that we call Bawaslu in the implementation of regional elections in Banggai Regency in 2022. Last, this is our conclusions for this research. Data analysis proved correlation coefficient 0.865. This means that 86% shows that the level of correlations or relationship between the variables influence of coordination patterns of the election supervisory agency that we call Bawaslu and the district supervisory committee Panwascam in the implementation of regional election in Banggai Regency in 2022 is a positive or strong relationship, while determinant coefficients R2 is 0.739. This means that 74.9% shows that the influence variable of the coordination pattern of the election supervisory agency that we called Bawaslu with the district supervisory committee that we called Panwascam, or X, is very dominant on the variable of election implementation in Banggai Regency in 2022. This is our advanced conclusions. The effect of the implementations of regional elections in Banggai Regency in 2022 is shown with a calculated value of 9.122 Determine the t-table by using a significance level of A equals 0.05 obtain t-table 1.699. So it can be said that there is significant influence between the influence of the coordination pattern of the election supervisory agency that we called Bawaslu and the district supervisory committee Panwascam X on the implementation of regional elections in Bangka Regency in 2022. That's our presentation research. That's our presentation research of this title, the influence of the coordination patterns of the election supervisory board Bawaslu with the Luwuk District Supervisory Committee Panwascam on the implementation of election in Bangka District in 2020. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.